The war between Russia and Ukraine is about 2 years old, and for the first time, get this, Ukraine has crossed the border and invaded a small part of Russia. Our Russian expert, Claire Lopez, is here to explain what it means. Claire Lopez, you're the Russian expert, at least on this show. I'm reading this morning shocking news, at least to me. The Ukraine has sent a division with heavy armor across the border into Russia. They've invaded Russia. Wow. And it's armor, it's a lot of troops, it's 3 Russian exile military groups, maybe involved, maybe not. They've gotten 10 miles into the Kursk region of Russia. There's heavy destruction on the battlefield. Russia is putting out calls for blood donations. It's a mess out there. Here's one of those divisions. I think these are ethnic Russians that are aligned with or somehow part of the Ukrainian military. What do you know about what's going on over there? This is quite a development.
It is, but even before this, we'll note that Ukraine was sending drones on the attack inside Russian territory. I mean, it's 2+ years since the invasion by Russia of Ukraine, and finally Ukraine fights back and takes the fight to the Russians, going for places that are weapons depots, launch sites for their missiles and so forth. I would just have to say it's about time.
Okay, put on your military expert hat, please, and tell me, is this a development that's going to change the outcome of this conflict?
No, not necessarily, but it does give the Russians some pause, hopefully, to understand that this is a war they cannot win, that Ukraine will fight back, and that finally we, the United States and European countries, NATO countries that have been supporting Ukraine in its defensive war against Russian aggression, are taking off some of the hobbles, taking off some of the constraints that had been put previously on the use of weapons provided to Ukraine by us. The use of those weapons, for example, against Russia, whether on Ukrainian territory, meaning the Donbass, or now across the actual international border into Russia itself. Some of those constraints are falling away, and Ukraine is making use of that. Will it change the outcome of the war, which has really ground to pretty much of a stalemate at this point? Not necessarily, but if additional weaponry like the F-16s, which have just recently been delivered, and other much needed weaponry and a resupply of ammunition and so forth, eventually could at least persuade the Russians that they cannot win. And I think that's the point of this.
Well, we'll see. Maybe not for a few weeks or months. Like you said, it's been a couple of years and barely in the news anymore, but they're still killing each other on a daily basis.